Welcome back everyone for week 2 of ICL. So today we will be your hosts. I'm Dasamu and I'm here with Funfi today.
Hello there.
So how are we all feeling today?
Oh, wait, are you asking me? Sorry.
Yeah, just everyone in general. Also chat. Good to see y'all back for the second week. So for today we are gonna start off strong with Ace facing Eden. Also, our apologies for being somewhat on the late side. We had some technical difficulties going on. It should be all fixed now, though. So we're just gonna head right into the first match right away. So we first have Ace hunting, also Moonlit as the first map. Not really a pick you see a lot for the first map. I think last weekend we saw it only once. Also Mechanic Band, which is more of a classic band.
Usually, I think that the more of the first map picks, personally, I think it's the Ever Sleeping map, just because most teams tend to use Dreamwatch for their first hunter. I'm not sure about Ace's TRX, but Moonlit, it's more of a map for Wu Chang, not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. Moonlit is definitely one of Wu Chang's strongest maps. However, Wu Chang not really a good first round hunter pick, so I'm not too sure if we're gonna see it. Would be really excited if we're actually gonna see Wu Chang though, because some people may know I really love Wu Chang. If it wasn't obvious. So it would be really cool, but I'm not really expecting it. On the Survivor side, we're going right in with that Explorer. Fair pick, especially considering the Mechanicus band. Also, Priestess really strong on Moonlit.
So the Survivor team clone, we can see that it's a team where 3 people are harder to chase. As long as the Explorer isn't found first, it should be an easy kite. And it seems like the hunter, Mr. T-Rex, is looking forward to using a bonbon on this map. I personally don't think it's a super bad map for bonbon, but he has more of an advantage on smaller maps. So I do not think it's Ace's pick, or unless I'm mistaken.
Yes, it's definitely. I mean, Bonbon overall is a good hunter, but just because he does like some map pressure, not necessarily the best pick. But you know, if they indeed find that Explorer first, or if they can manage to get the portals out of the Priestess rather quickly, they can definitely do something there.
And spawn, usually it's to last stop or to bridge. As you can see, he's going to last stop, and we have Explorer spawning here. He shouldn't have a problem with finding Explorer, as long as he makes sure of his tonight's tracking doesn't go wrong.
Yeah, this
Over
is
here,
not necessarily an ideal spawn for the survivors here, having the Explorer being found first, if he can manage to actually find that Explorer, of course.
The Explorer made a good choice of immediately hiding towards the pallets, which has confused the hunter about where the Tonight is coming from, which is a really good choice.
Ooh, it seems like he did not manage to find the Explorer and just decided to get out of there. That's a really good start for Eden. That's an amazing start for Eden. Also finds the Mercenary second, which is definitely not a target you want to chase. Especially since Moonlit is rather open, so it will be easier to sidestep those bombs.
Apparently the survivors are running into each other. The Faces and 4 has exchanged places.
Oh, the priest
Priest
is
is not
running right
start
into the
the
bonbon here, forced to immediately make that portal. Now we're actually gonna get the first chase. Survivors definitely have kind of a head start here, however, since they did have to rotate a bit.
Oh, that was a mistake on the hunter.
That
He could have gotten it over there because the priestess had
that
walked
was
down thinking the
really close.
bonbon had.
The priestess got so lucky there. Ooh, nice
Luckily,
but forced to take the bomb hit there too, so now she's only one hit away.
The next portal is about to be up. As long as she can make time out for the next portal, she should be able to last a bit longer.
Goes for the pellet stun, has to take a bomb hit for that, but nice job nonetheless. However, she's one. Oh, she managed to dodge that one. Ooh. Nice job by the priestess avoiding those bomb hits here. Ooh, and jukes the hit too. We also have the Explorer finding first 50% page and one cipher being popped already.
So currently we are at 2.5 ciphers, which is fairly a tight momentum, except the priestess has been cheered on the Explorer cipher, and
who finds the Explorer now though?
Tunnel the Explorer. And Explorer's not working on this map. The issue was everyone was rotating into each other, that's why the ciphers were slower.
Yeah, so now the mercenary had to get off his cipher to rescue that priestess while the Explorer is getting chased. So that means that only the forward is decoding at the moment. Not ideal in this situation, especially since they still have 3 ciphers to go.
But Explorer has a 50% page on him, which means that they're still looking at somewhat of a tie, as long as he can manage to find the Explorer off the chair, the second save. And if I was to make the decision as the rescuer here, I wouldn't save the Explorer, and after he dies, I'll pick up the page to ensure that this is.
Because if there's anything this hunter needs right now, it's the stuff on the rescue. If he manages to stuff the rescue, especially since the mercenary also doesn't have tight turner, so there's probably only tight turner in play right now. It's gonna be rough. You can see the mercenary is setting up the global there.
It seems like they're still going for this rescue over here. Unfortunately, they did not realize that the hunter actually carried the teleport, so the global portal wouldn't actually do anything.
They went for the global rescue there. Nice job. Mercenary distracting the bonbon so that the forward could get the rescue, and now they're with the stun too, making sure the Explorer can actually get towards the global portal without having to take the hit.
But they didn't pop the cipher over there, so now it's up to the forward to stun the hunter on the teleport.
Can you manage? No, he was just a second too late. No, that's so unfortunate.
It was very...
No way.
He got the stun over there, they're looking at they're looking towards a win over there.
Yeah, oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yes. So now there's no more tie turners, but there is still a chance because the cipher in Haunted House is almost primed, and that is the last cipher. So if Priestess can get the save over here, they still have a chance at a win. But it seems like the hunter did not carry detention, so even if she didn't make the save over here, as long as
they're not gonna try and risk the rescue, knowing that if he got stuffed, it will actually change the game into the hunter's favor. Especially since they probably do not know if the hunter carries detention or not.
Usually Bonbon wouldn't carry detention. It's unlikely for him to carry it. The forge is found, I believe. Oh, he did not see the forge.
And he is protecting that 2-story cipher, knowing that it has a lot of progress. It's close to being primed, so he definitely does not want the survivors to pop it here.
Or just has to start another cipher at last stall, which he did. And over here, he did not see the tracks of the priestess, which is unfortunate because it isn't a very good hiding spot. So if she is found over there, there's a good chance of her being instant killed. There does not realize that the last cipher is. Oh no, I think he is realizing that they're working on last stop, and
This does mean that the priestess now gets a free route towards that last cipher.
he's now
We
going
do
towards
have
the last
teleport
cipher.
up as well though, so in the case that he actually gets the bomb there.
There's not much item. There's not much football left for the forward. So if
We
he just
already
tunnels the
also
forward,
have the mercenary at a quarter damage, so getting this rescue off will actually be very tricky.
but the cipher is primed. He should have waited 2 seconds, and now he has messed up over there.
Oh no!
This is unfortunate.
It gets the terror shock! Oh no! This suddenly went into a tight situation for the survivors to a win for the hunter.
Yes. And now with how many stacks?
Teleport
This is
is
2
up
stacks.
2, so this may actually turn into a 4-man.
Ideally, the priest should go straight for the gate just because there's only 3 stacks on the mercenary. Oh, he's cheering him. Yeah, she should be waiting for dungeon now. And the dungeon has spawned haunted house, so it's not necessarily a bad dungeon spawn. Now she just has to wait to get the 1 man.
Goes for the teleport.
Towards the priest.
Goes to
I wonder if
the
the lights over here. If the lights are turned off, she can still make the rescue from mercenary.
And it seems to be the case. Oh, well, she actually managed to get the mercenary off that chair and still managed to get out of the gate there.
Priestess can definitely make it out. It's looking at a 1 man, but it's unlikely for a tie because there's no more items left on the mercenary.
That would definitely be rough, especially since it seems to be that the bomb one is going for the mercenary here.
But it looks like the priestess isn't actually going straight for the dungeon. They're walking into each other, so there's a good chance of the priestess getting the second kite immediately, which isn't a bad situation because with the mercenary self-heal, it's going to take him a while.
Yeah, so this is gonna take a lot for the priestess to survive this.
No,
I mean, she is full health thanks to that cipher buff, so she also has she has 1 portal back now, but especially at this last stop, it's not an ideal spot to be in. Also, those pellets have of course already been used.
If only she didn't mess up the portals, it's actually a very easy fight for priestess. Oh, the mercenary has gotten up and going straight for the gate. As long as the priestess can last until...
Yeah, however, we can see that teleport is back up again as well, so it still doesn't say everything. I would be so surprised if it gets the down on the priestess. What an endgame.
There's still a chance at 1 man if the mercenary waits at the dungeon just because the priestess has been chaired once. So there's only going to be 20 seconds actually of chair time left.
Especially because of the delayed injury on the mercenary as well. He does have some room to work with, however it's a bonbon of course. But it seems like the bonbon is not gonna risk the rescue by this mercenary on priestess and decides to just confirm this win, which is honestly fair.
Yes.
But what a comeback on that cipher pop by this bonbon. Great job by Ace. Also, very nice job by Eden getting the first, getting 1 person out of the gate in the first round. That can make a huge difference in a tournament, especially in the earlier rounds. So, really nice job. And I'm excited to see what Ace is gonna bring in their survivor round. Alright, we'll be right back with you with the second round. are back with the second match. So now we will have Eden hunting, and we will have Ace as the survivor team. Also, because Ace got the 3-man downed in the first round, that means that Ace is now standing at 3 points, whereas Eden is standing at 1 point. So basically, still anything can happen in this round. Eden could possibly pull a 4-man, which means that Eden will take the first round. However, if Ace manages to tie against this hunter, it would mean that they have 2 points over the 1 point that Eden got as the surviving team in the first round, which means that the round would go to Ace in that case. So really anything can happen. However, since it's the first round, what you usually see is a lot of people pulling 4Ks with the hunters. So there is some pressure on Eden, but it's not something that they shouldn't be able to deal with in the first round.
Yes. It seems like Pitstoppers has immediately pulled out his Dream Witch, and it isn't a bad team coming against Dream Witch. Personally, I don't think it's necessary for him to ban Mechanic, because on a map like Moonlit, Mechanic doesn't actually have that decoding advantage because she needs to be far enough from the bot. And as we know, the spawns on Moonlit aren't very ideal in most cases. So
Yeah,
I personally think there's a good chance of killing the bot and Mechanic. Pardon?
Yeah, I think we have seen a Dream Witch match in the last weekend as well. If I remember correctly, it did end in a 4-man elimination for the Dream Witch, but it was a really close call because it's just a large map. That's basically it.
The ciphers are a lot slower on bigger maps because the cipher spread is the distance is a lot bigger than small maps, so the rotation needs to be very precise in order to get that cipher rush going.
Yes, indeed. And if the survivors actually have a really good cipher distribution going on late game, it will be really hard. Oh, it does seem like the hunter switched to the sculptor last second.
See, sculptor on this map, with the map control, she's able to able to pressure the survivors off the cipher. Unless his priest is on the bridge, then the chisel wouldn't really do anything. But this map, she gets a pretty easy kill in everywhere except for 2-story. So unless they are able to make use of the train, let's see what the hunter is going to be carrying today.
It's going to be really interesting to see Bonbon versus Sculptor in the first round. Usually, people tend to go with the Bonbon for the first round. So having a Sculptor face against a Bonbon Hunter-wise is really interesting to see.
Non-working spawn. Now, with the fan chase spawn, he should immediately go to Haunted. And I think he does see the person walking towards, and that is the Seer.
Yeah, immediately spots out the Seer. That's not a great start for Ace. Doesn't decide to go for it though, and instead finds the Priestess here.
It's not a very easy chase over here, especially with carrying Oh, she vaulted him off immediately. She should have waited over there. Now she has waited to teleport over here.
This is doing a nice job looping the 2-story area with the portal.
It'll take her a while to down the priestess.
It's like you said, the 2-story area isn't easy for the sculptor to deal with, and the priestess is doing a great job of using this area against her. Didn't realize that the hunter had confined space here.
Oh,
the portal got cancelled there because of the statue. Wow.
I think twice, isn't it? Because she only used 1 portal first, and she should have 2 portals by now.
Yeah, no, she indeed tries to play as a portal, but it got cancelled because of the statue.
I think the first one got cancelled as well.
Really unfortunate that the ult didn't get great use there too, because the confined space just took too long.
Fortunately, they have 3 ciphers, and as long as they can, with this team con, as long as they don't get instant killed in the second kite, it should be looking at somewhere of a tie. As long as the Seer isn't the one that's doing the second kite, it should be good. Now she's
However,
forcing
this is really rough on the survivor side.
Oh my goodness.
Gets hit out of the shuffle too. This
It's a very
sculptor
good
is doing a great job preventing these survivors from using their abilities.
And now if the teleport, the mercenary cannot make the save on the priestess. Now it's looking... I really don't think they can get a one-man even because they have 2 full ciphers that are left.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to get at least one survivor out of it. It's not impossible, of course. Anything can still happen, but it's gonna be really rough.
She's going to make an easy stuff on the merge just because of second presence. So it does seem like the mercenary is going for the save, but the Seer unfortunately wasn't able to be on the cipher, so that wasted a lot of time there for survivors.
Yes,
if they want to get anything above a 4-man, he will not. He cannot get double. He cannot get double down by this rescue.
You're doing a great job. Ooh, nice rescue by the mercenary, dodging all the statues and getting it just right before half. Nice job.
Unfortunately, with Tide Turner, the Gravekeeper cannot make use of the train, and now he's most likely going to.
So close. Will he actually manage to get on the roller coaster now that Tide turns out? It's gonna be really. Sadly didn't. It was gonna be really close, but it because it does take a bit to take off. It was very unlikely. But sadly, there wasn't a lot he could do there.
There isn't really much he can do over there, just because he can't actually transition away from there. If only he had another item, but he used it immediately after the cure. Or they're just working on. They have half a cipher on haunted pallets.
Yeah,
so
it does seem like they're not gonna rescue the Gravekeeper, which is reasonable considering that they just want one survivor out of there. So they do not want to risk taking unnecessary hits because it was likely that the Gravekeeper was not gonna survive.
Ideally over here, Mercenary should be kiting towards first stop to use the train, because with only 2 elbow pads, he's not going to be able to last until the Seer finished both the first stop and the half cipher out not working. At haunted pallets. As we can see, he didn't last long enough, and with half a cipher left on the survivors, Pitstopper can completely drag out the time for another teleport. It does look like it's looking at a 4 kill by this point.
Yeah, definitely, because we can also see that the Seer is stuck on this side of the map, and like we've seen already, most pellets and such have already been used, so there is not a lot of possibilities for the Seer to actually escape here. You could try and take the roller coaster, especially does manage to do so. Oh, but he takes off too late and takes a terror shock.
The sculptor was close enough to the train for him to just start the train. Just because he can't actually get hit while he's on the train, so even if he doesn't get off at second stop, the chisel wouldn't really do anything.
And we now have the sculptor looking for the
mercenary.
Oh, he sadly didn't have enough time to get an item from that chest. Seer self-picking right here. Especially since, the mercenary, since he doesn't have any items left, and this is a chip them hunter. Again, not a lot he can do here.
Oh
He
my
is doing a
goodness.
great job looping the hunter around that window, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's the thing with Mercenary once he is out of his items. Of course, he does have the delayed injury, but since he just usually carries Tide Turner, there's not a lot he can do.
No, there's not a lot he can do.
And that's a 4-man for Eden. Amazing job.
Mm-hmm. The cipher pressure of the pressure on the rescues from Pitstopper and the first how quick the first kill was.
The
It
first
looked like a
kill with the confined space, and then having the priestess getting hit out of the portal. That was just amazing start for Eden there. Great job by Pitstoppers there.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the first round will go to Eden. However, we still have one more round to go. So once again, anything can happen.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll be right back with you once again.
Mm.
Alright, we are back with the second round between Ace and Eden.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, Aiden is currently in the lead with a total of 6 points over 3 points for Ace. So it basically comes down to whoever wins this round, if we're gonna see a third round or not. So, like, in the case that Ace would win this round, we would go to a third round. In case that Eden wins this round, it's gonna just stay on the 2 rounds. It would be fun to see a third round though, because I don't think we had one the last weekend. So it would be really cool to have like a really close fight going on, but you know, there is some room for Ace for a comeback.
And for Pit Stopper, just because Explorer you wouldn't, or maybe not, because when you're shrunk, the second presence wouldn't necessarily find the Explorer. But without a Seer ban, it seems like it's going to be hunters like Bonbon and Sculptor, where they're not with Owl. And they've banned Pit Stopper's Stream Watch. I'm not gonna lie, Pit Stopper's Stream Watch has improved a lot, and it's pretty good. So I get where they're coming from to ban Stream Watch straight off the bat.
Yeah, and especially on a map like Red Church, you better want to be safe than sorry. However, Sculptor is also really good on Red Church, and we have seen an amazing Sculptor round by Pit Stopper, so we could definitely see a part 2 of that Sculptor round.
Yes, exactly. Stuffing the items and finding people with second presence, it's really all that you can ask for from a Sculptor main, which he had proved himself to be a very capable one. And for Seer, Priestess, Forward, and Mercenary, the Priestess will be able to make portals around Church, and Forward is going to be able to help them with their transitions. It just depends on where they're starting a kite and what hunter it is for them to actually help them with their kite. I think it might be this year that's probably going to be kiting, just because whenever I play Seer, I spawn on worst parts of the map. I think the game just hates Seer. Let's see what pistol. Again, he has Pig Sculptor.
Yeah, so we're indeed gonna go with a chip damage hunter, so... However, since they did bring a forward in this time over the Gravekeeper, so they may have a plan there. It's still gonna be rough though, because the forward against the Sculptor is... it's not easy, it's still not that easy.
He can harass, but he's still a good target to chase after. Just because after you use all the football, like he also has all the statues up. And with the forward on the team, a double rescue of forward and Merc, it's going to be a slower decoding. So they have to ensure that the first kite isn't too short, and the second kite has to be decent enough for them to actually get the last cycle. Let's see. Top broken spawn. Not a bad spawn with 2 people right in front of him. Going straight for... no? He's going for the person that spawned at front gate. It seems like he doesn't really see the person that went to Graveyard, so he's in the middle of Church going for the Priestess. Oh, unfortunately. That was a miss on the Priestess. That was very close.
Sadly doesn't get the portal quite down there. So
ideally for Priestess, if you decode in the middle of Church, you should have your portal set up ahead of time. Or like not even
nice statue hit there. Nice prediction by Pit.
Very good statues from Pit Stopper.
Also, since the Priestess already had to use 2 portals here because she didn't manage to get the portal down. Not a great start for Priestess. However, she's still managing. And she's 1 portal back as well.
Oh, that... yeah. If he got into chip at the window, there's a good chance of him to actually force out now the blink, and without any portals, she has 1 portal.
Nice prediction there. Ooh, misses the blink! Oh no! Now the Seer coming in with the ult, trying to prolong this Priestess or kite as much as they possibly can. Priestess is doing a great job around here.
She's doing a very great job. And looking at the Cypher progress, they actually have 3 Cyphers up, and unfortunately
gets down in the Church, and the basement is there too.
Unless
Basement
the
Sculptor.
Fortune coming for a stun. Otherwise, there's no point in saving the priestess from the basement. And just looking at what the 4... Yes, the 4 is coming for the stun save. And Pistol
Getting the
has not...
stun right off the chair. They're not
Yes.
taking any risks at all there.
Mhm.
That's
it's
a
also
long
like-
stun too. Wow, great job by forward.
Yes. And now with her broken windows up, the priestess can... Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ooh, wow, she got down there. That's amazing job by Pit.
Yes, that is amazing prediction from Pit.
Managing to get the priestess down so quickly, even after the forward, it's such a long stun.
Mm-hmm. It did...
However, the survivors are still in really good shape. We have 2 more cyphers remaining. The seer can pretty much just peacefully decode.
It's gonna... Oh...
Can the Merc get this off though? And he takes another hit. Oh no! Hits the chair!
Here.
Oh, this gives the
No,
survivors
no,
some
no,
more
no,
room to
no.
work with.
Again.
And we have the forward harassing there too.
Mm-hmm. Now the priestess has able to gain... He has... The communication, they could have... The 4 might not have properly communicated that he was going for a stun, otherwise the priestess should have went straight for graveyard.
Oh, almost got the portal down too. Nice job by Pit. But now we have the forward harassing there and we have 1 second.
There's enough football.
Oh no, we did not manage to get that stun off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the priestess out of the game. However, we're 1 more cipher.
Mm-hmm.
You
These
can
ciphers are close. So they will need to start a new cipher either at top or at front gate. But with the 3 ciphers being this close, it's going to be a fairly easier cipher camp for the sculptor. Just because he can also make use of the chisel to keep them away from ciphers.
Oh yes, definitely. We did get a chip hit on the seer too, so that leaves the forward, who by the way picked up a syringe, which is not ideal in his case. The seer being the target, as he is currently the fastest decoder on the team as well.
It does seem like his stopper might have carried trump card. What do you think? Because he has blink, but he also has barred windows. But he's looking at ciphers, so I'm not sure if he actually has trump card. If he has trump card, that means that he doesn't have retention, and there's still a tiny bit of chance to get a dungeon play at the end game. Well, that's only my predictions. There's a good chance for him to play detention on this map, so he has this small amount. So
Hit on the forward two leaves everyone injured at this moment, so they definitely need to get some healing done. Because they need to push the ciphers. Bitstop is not giving them any space to touch any of those 3 ciphers.
Now he got the heal up. Unfortunate for the survivor side. And survivors. Oh,
Yeah, there's the blink again. So oh, the shizzle is off. Oh no, that's so unlucky. That's so unlucky.
If you manage to instant kill the seer with that chisel, you can put him in basement, which will be a secure tie for him, a tie and a buff for him. And now
So you can see the Merc and the Seer trying to heal up. Bitstoppers realizing too that these survivors need to heal up, knowing that the forward went down in graveyard, and decides to just check up on them, see what they are up to.
I'm just saying enough to actually see an up-down sculptor with blink. And just starting a new cipher at top broken with him already using the blink. They are not scared of him. They're not scared of anything with the front cord. Teleport him. dodging the statue is very good.
Yeah, and they probably realized as well, like you said, this hunter either has strong guard and will change to teleport, which they cannot do right now, or they have detention. So whatever would be the case, as long as they manage to heal up and have like some really good discipline going on the healing and the decoding, they have a good chance at a tie.
Yes. And with Christopher using the oh my goodness. With Christopher using the blink at graveyard without switching, I think there's a good chance of him to actually go up down. But it's very unlikely because it's not a very popular play in my opinion.
No, definitely not on the
not on the sculptor.
Not on sculptor. However, the forward in the basement, we can see the Merc dropping in right away. It does have a perfume available. Nice rescue right in Merc. No Titan, so it will be rough for them. Oh no, did not manage to get the attack recovery cancellation because of that blink hit. That's really unfortunate. So we can see that it actually did bring the tension. It has the mercenary down almost immediately. Gets Jared on the gate too, chasing the Seer away. Will this still result in a 3-man now that the mercenary got down so fast? And the Seer is right there too.
Knowing that no one's at back gate, he doesn't necessarily need to leave the cherry immediately. And
however, he cannot camp the mercenary here because it would be too long.
Yes, he realizes that the tonight is from church, so he knows that people are probably walking towards back gate now, and here has. Well, as long as the forward isn't found, the Seer has plenty of time to actually get the gate open because he's down Blink Sculptor. So as long as he doesn't get the hits from the statues. The Seer has been doing a lot of good dodges in this game, especially at top broken. He managed to dodge the second prisons twice, and around the gate we can see that again.
Yeah, Pit just trying to basically confirm the tie here. Which is the safest option to do.
Them to keep the Tinnitus around the mercenary.
Ooh,
and now they
forward did manage to get out just in time before he took another statue hit. Nice job there by both the survivors and the hunter, resulting in a tie. This puts a lot of pressure on Eden's survivor team, actually. They do not necessarily have to win this round because they are still in the lead. However, if they want to win this round, they would have to get 3 men out of the gate, and that's gonna be rough.
Gonna be rough. But with Red Church, it's a pretty fair map just because it doesn't actually favor the survivors or hunters. So as we can see in this game, early game, it isn't really in the lead of Sculptor, but cheering someone in the basement over there, instant killing the priestess after a long stun. It's a very good play from Pitstopper. So,
yeah, definitely.
And then with the comeback from survivors, it is a very interesting game with a pretty acceptable tie.
Yeah, looking at the stats as well, we can see that the Seer actually decoded a total of 3 ciphers while the others were busy containing, rescuing, and so on. Which is really good because you basically still have the fastest decoder on your team on the ciphers. However, of course, decoding 3 ciphers as 1 survivor does mean that the game did take a while, but they did really good, especially on the end, making sure that they healed up, not taking any risks on trying to pop that middle cipher in church. So really nice job, and a well-deserved tie.
Oh wow, divine skin.
Alright. So we are back with the second matchup in the second round between Ace and Eden.
Seems like they're banning Mr. TX's Bonbon. And let's see what the bans Mr. TX are going with this game. Mechanic and Spore. Like we said last game, right? It's going to be Chip Hunters, and there's a good chance of him. Is there a good chance of him going Sculptor, I wonder? Oh, Exploit? That's also a decent choice for a Red Church. A triple rescue team? Oh wait, is my Discord lagging?
Sorry, I was having some sound issues.
I know Discord lagging.
You're fine, you're fine. I just had some sound issues myself. Anyhow, we're actually gonna see a Dream Witch this match.
They haven't locked it down yet, but it'll be really interesting to see a triple rescue team against a Dream. No.
Oh, we're gonna see a Sculptor versus a Sculptor here. I mean, I do like the respectful ban of the Bonbon here from Eden towards Ace, respecting the fact that this Bonbon did manage to get a 3-man on a map like Moonlit. Does seem like Ace is still just kinda looking through what they are gonna do on the Survivor side. Going with the triple rescue and the priestess there, so survivability over decoding progress kind of team comp basically.
Decoding's going to be very slow with a triple rescue, but the kiting's going to be strong because you have 3 rescuers that are very hard to chase, and the priestess on Red Church isn't a very bad choice. In fact, she can actually loop the church around the back multiple times. Oh, locked in a Sculptor. Well, usually a Sculptor against a triple rescue, it's going to be a hard chase for hers, unless she managed to get to second presence before her second chase. So they don't actually have to save the first person, regardless of that being the forward or priestess, because usually those are the only 2 people that can chase on a triple rescue team. So as long as they don't rescue the first person, they don't have second presence in the second chase, and it's going to be a fairly easy kite for them to stop that cipher. And it does look like they're going for the tie to ensure that they can make it for the 3rd round. Front gate spawn, graveyard, or bottom broken. It chooses to go the bottom broken with 2 people there. It's Bill and Chris, who are priestess and Wow. This isn't a very bad spawn for survivors just because the priestess has time to loop the church. How did that work?
The mercenary as the first target, yeah. The thing with, like you said, Neat, is it's... Wow, what a statue on the mercenary there.
Now with the trip on the mercenary, there's a good chance that they won't be sending him in for the rescue, and with a blink up, he's looking at... cannot tunnel the mercenary because he has blink.
Yeah.
Now he's going towards the forward, and with 6 statues and blink, he needs to get him down pretty quick over here, otherwise...
Yeah, however, on the other hand, because they only have the Wildling and the Priestess who can decode here.
They have a slow progress.
Wow, what a stun by the forward.
What a
this is
stun.
what he needed to like get away from this area, because if you're stuck here, there's not... He was forced to take a hit there, but with that football hit right there...
Fast recovery, I'm not gonna lie about that.
He was saying his football to gain some more distance, making sure he's actually gonna make it into the church. You could also see that the... Ooh, the views blink there.
Statues over here.
Oh, and he... Oh no, he almost managed to football out of that. That
He
was
still
so
ran
close.
the open to dodge those. He had to take the because he already blinked, so all he has to do is take 2 more basic hits to stall more time.
Yeah, because he was only at 140 damage, so that was a huge risk he took there. It's a shame it did not pay off, because it would have been a really cool play, but
Yes.
Ace did see an opportunity there to get the down, and they took it.
Oh. Oh, straight up rescue. I think it leads to... Yeah, it leads to top broken. It's very close.
Not ideal, but since this hunter has blink, it does at least, at the very least, with some time.
He's about where forward is. Oh, it seems like he lost a forward? Is that the case? Or...
I think he chooses to go after the Marlin, trying to probably ensure that, to basically just disrupt some building here, especially since the priestess is not with the forward, so the forward does have to self-heal here. But on the other hand, he likely doesn't know where the Missile is, so...
He's only one chip away from getting second presence, so they Wildling's here to help assist the priestess to ensure that she doesn't get instant killed over here at the second fight.
Ooh, nice support there from the Wildling, making sure that the priestess can actually make it to the window there. And even beyond.
She's gonna be able to make a fairly decent kite. At least kite until blink is up. And now with the forward...
They also managed to heal the forward up entirely in that time. Great job there. Great job.
But the only thing is, because they were double kiting, there's not a lot of cypher. There's not really... The cypher progress doesn't actually look that nice, just because they only have 1.5 cypher.
Definitely not. However, we can see that the sculptor currently is not really able to find anyone, so that leaves 2 people being able to decode there. We can see the forward opening a chest also gets syringe. Oh no, it actually is a pocket watch now. So that does only leave the mercenary to decode. Not ideal.
No, I think it's fine just because... Oh my goodness.
Nice hit by Ace there.
It's
Great
nice
job
support
by
from Wildling. Now she has blink back, so the priestess wouldn't really be able to last very long, especially with no portals on her.
No, this is really rough, especially being stuck on this ballot here is not great.
If only the Wildling can make another push over there and then it forces the hunter to use the blink. That was too close.
It hits the board, so there is no way for this Wildling to...
Yes. And I don't think... Yeah, the forward doesn't have ties, so they don't actually have another...
No, and since the mercenary and the Wildling both took 1 chip hit already, they can actually not rescue. I mean, they could potentially do it, but it's a huge risk, so it's not something you want to take at this point in the tournament.
Especially with Blink up, she's not going to be able to actually do a rebound kite, so it's a good idea for them to actually not rescue over here to ensure that they'll be able to...
They're actually going for a co-op rescue here.
Oh, she missed a hit over there, but unfortunately...
Oh, no, that hit missed! Oh, that's so unfortunate for the hunter.
Gosh, he saw that the
using his watch to make sure he doesn't have to take the free hit there. And now they have 1 cipher. This isn't the best cipher to decode because it doesn't have a lot of escape routes, but since there is a Wildling, a priestess, and a merc, they definitely have some options. This is looking really good for Eden.
Yes, it's looking very good for Eden. Now with 1 chair on forward, 2 chairs on priestess, they don't actually have to decode at this point. All they have to do is just wait. Oh, she's looking for people in basement.
Making sure no one is being sneaky and hiding.
The forward and priestess can just stay around the broken walls to ensure that they wouldn't get crows in this during this time that they're fighting. Oh, and makes the long portal. Yes, stays around top broken.
They're by the way doing a great job at fighting the ciphers, making sure that they are not stuck. Ooh, wow, the down on the wildling. That was a quick down by Mr. T-Rex. Nice job.
I didn't actually see what happened. Did the wildling happen to get knocked off the board? There was a very long cooldown. And he gets turned on last cipher. How much is it? It's 80%.
Yeah, they can definitely make the rescue without the cipher prime played right. But of course, Mr. T-Rex knows that too, so he's not gonna give him the free ball.
Oh,
and the wildling getting shared at that cipher is
And he's not gonna be able to chase the pieces over here just because the cipher is almost ruined. Just wasting the items from their survivors. Now the fourth has to go for another item to ensure that he doesn't get instant killed in endgame.
And it looks valid, so the priestess cannot make too long of a portal there.
So there is still a little bit of chance for Sculptor, but the survivors aren't really in a rush to get the last ciphers.
Yeah, I mean they are doing a great job at pressuring that one cipher, but they also know that if they pressure that one too much and take too many risks, it will cost them a win.
So they're working on all the ciphers, all 7 ciphers.
And they basically just try and decode at least the graveyard cipher to have some sort of insurance, making sure that if they cannot pop that one cipher out itself church, that they still have another cipher to pop if needed. So not everyone goes down at the last cipher basically. Plus if 3 ciphers are being decoded, the sculptor only can check up on 2. So she, like you see, she has to move between those 2 and then chisel over to graveyard, which leaves a lot of time frame for the survivors to decode.
So I think what they should be doing is actually just going for the gate. Oh my goodness. No, only the 4 can actually do that. As a priestess main in my normal matches, and at least a hit through the window.
Ooh, and there's the cipher pop! We have 4 survivors up and running.
Both the pieces at the gate, and wilding at the gate. He's going for that one man from forward. Oh no, he already switched.
But it will probably... But yeah, it's already too late. That's a shame.
Yes, and he gets a chance of
there we have to surrender.
I'm actually very surprised how the game turned out, just because it wasn't looking. It didn't look like a good kite at the beginning, especially when everyone's just rotating around. We can't really see how the game actually favors one side. The priestess did make a mistake by hitting hit out of her portal, but with the wilding support and the double rescue at the back gate to get the priestess away, it was comeback for survivors, which was very good play from Eden.
Yeah, no, Eden had a wonderful comeback there, and especially also, like, the same what happened with Ace, basically. Just a lot of discipline on the last few ciphers, making sure that they have the decoding rather than trying to risk it and pressure the one cipher they have the most progress on. Great job, great job. But yeah, that does mean that Eden wins this round too, which comes down to basically Eden winning this entire round against Ace. So yeah, I mean, it's really fun to have like 2 sculptors facing off against each other, especially since all of these hunters also play chip damage hunters. We have also seen them go up against like several different team comps, and also with Moonlit versus Red Church, which are such different maps too. It's really fun to see how they can still like make these hunters work. And ending it off with Eden getting the 4-man escape there, with basically a team comp that is so low on Cypher Rush. It's really cool to see. So yeah, we are gonna go into the second matchup for today, which will be let me check, Arachna versus Fusion. So please bear with us for a second. We'll be right back. Alright, we are about to start the next matchup between Fuzion and Arachna. So for the first round, we will have Fuzion playing Survivor first, and we will see Arachna hunting first on the map Ever Sleeping Town. I'm not too sure if we've actually seen that map so far. Have we? It's at least not a popular pick in this in ICL.
Ever Sleeping. The Ever Sleeping map, personally, I really like it as Survivor just because I know all the kiting spots. But the unfortunate thing about this map is that a lot of the ciphers are very dangerous. It's out in the open, or there's not a lot of resources you can work with like immediately because you have to transition and there's quite a bit of distance. It's good for priestess players, but for players
Yeah, we
like,
can see the priestess ban coming in because with those buildings, it's the priestess is not something you want to deal with. She can just make too much distance in too little times with those portals. Also, I saw Hunter kind of teasing the magician ban probably for Joggy, who is known to be a top tier magician player. So a bit of joking on the Hunter part there, but going in with the priestess ban nonetheless. Which, yeah, it's a fair ban. Because the priestess, not only for herself, but also for her teammates, she is just able to do so much with those portals in After Sleeping.
yes. It does look like they're going for a decoder double rescue team. Seer mechanic, third and mercenary. Regardless of who they're chasing, it's the map. The map does make it a lot more difficult for you to get the cipher rushing. So like just considering the time that you have to transition from one cipher to another, it does look like it's going to be a slower decoding. This mechanic will have to die, or whoever is kiting actually has to die in a corner in order to get the ciphers popped. Otherwise, this pretty much is going to be able to tap the ciphers pretty easily. Just looking at whether or not she's going to lock in as Dreamwitch, and she did. It's actually a pretty nice map for Dreamwitch, just because you actually have a lot of. It's harder for survivors to transition, and considering Dreamwitch is one of those hunters that actually corners you in to one area to get the hit from you, it's at the Dreamwitch's advantage for that. So Ever Sleeping is a pretty good map for Dreamwitch. Let's see how they're going to be repairing this. It's most definitely going to be a rework on the board and just broken windows on Seer mechanic.
Yeah, that's likely gonna be the case. Very meta team comp and Hunter pick, so yeah, I think there's not a lot for us to say about that because this is just the kind of choices you will see a lot in first rounds.
It's one of those meta team comps that are proven by and games to say that Save by Release is very good for survivors. A very good team comp for survivors.
Yeah,
And let's just see spawn at the corner house spawn. This spawn is going straight for fake A most likely, unless. Oh, and it is the Seer over here. Trying to keep an eye on where the hunter is.
Oh, going right for that sandwich there. Nice job by the Dreamwitch. Not a lot Joggy could do there. That's a great start. Gets the ult right away. Didn't even have to use the patroller for those two first hits. That's a great start for Dreamwitch.
It's a great start for Dreamwitch. And it does look like the Seer is going to die around the bot cipher. because of the patroller. And with that first hit being taken so fast, the main body from the mechanic isn't actually able to decode much. So looking at the progress,
Yeah, sending that leech right over to the bot side for 2. This is a great start for Dream Witch.
the bot's gonna die over here, just not much you can do.
No, especially because on that side of the map you only have those 2 pellets, and unless you have knee-jerk reflex, there's no way you're getting away from there without taking a hit.
No. Ideally, what should have happened over here was Seer should have died around corner, not the corner, around fake A corner, or perhaps even corner house, in order to not disturb any decoding.
Nice rescue by the mercenary here, by the way, not taking any hits so that the mechanic still is able to decode somewhat normally, but still giving the tide turning to the Seer so they can just get a bit more progress in.
Which is a elbow path from the mercenary. And just... It does seem like the force wants to do something over here. Because there's only one leech around the Seer right now. So there's a chance for him to actually... Nope, he doesn't seem like he wants to do anything over here.
No, certainly not a lot of things he could do there.
The mercenary stopped his leash right around the big gate, so that means that it doesn't seem like they're going for the rescue. No, they're not going for the rescue.
No, it's probably the safest option in that case, because even if they could get the rescue off and get some more progress in, Juggy would have died anyway, most likely. It's not a good chair, there's not a lot of places for the Seer to go to. And they realize that very well. And like, because it's the first round, you better focus on at least getting one person out there, especially since this is a Dream Witch. However, the Dream Witch is in a really good position here.
It's the mechanic. Goes for the window block. So let's see where the main leech... Oh, main leech is outside. Now she's trapped between the leeches.
This Dream Witch doing a great job with those sandwiches. Nice job by the mechanic predicting that she could swing at the pallet, trying to look around for a bit here, but there's only so much she can do, especially since this is a mechanic. She does need to kite away from that basement though, which she's doing right now.
And especially with the hunt from the Dream Witch, she switches to
the blink there to basically secure the down right here.
Yes. And let's see the Cypher progress. Cypher progress 30 and almost done at 2 pallets. She is going to be able to cap mid though. So after leeches there to count the middle Cypher. And 4 will have to start another Cypher because of that Cypher pressure from Dream Witch. So over here.
I mean, the survivors do still have some options here to work with, but especially since it's the Seer who died first, the mechanic who dies here now too. And having the slowest decoders trying to pop those ciphers in the time for the mechanic basically to kite here, it's hard. They are really in a rough spot. The Dream Witch really set herself up for a win here.
Yes, and it does look like she's going to go... She's at least getting a 3 kill at this point because switching to Blink also injuring them forward. They don't actually have a chance to heal the forward up or make the rescue because there's 2 leeches at the chair.
Yeah, and especially because both the mercenary and the mechanic are linked too. Whoa, that's actually get the rescue though. Instant down because of course no tie turner, but I am surprised the mercenary actually got that off. Nice job from the merc, just waiting for the Dream Witch to divert her attention away from the chair.
Unfortunately they don't have another Cypher, so it is looking at a game where
Merc first to take a hit there. Probably wants to save his elbow pads for when it matters just a bit more. Possibly trying to make an end game play with the elbow pads, so they definitely wanna save their items for like this moment where they have to kite long enough for the other one to decode a cipher. Which is gonna be rough, especially considering it's a Dream Witch and she does have a leech on the Mercenary too. Oh no, the blink missed barely. So this is where we have them using their items to make some distance because there's not anywhere they could go from there. Dungeon right there, so that's rough.
The Dream Witch doesn't actually have to chair the 4 even if she downs the 4 immediately, just because there's half a cipher left, so it's going to take at least half a minute for them to actually get that close to being primed. And as a Dream Witch, doesn't realize the leech is sliding behind it. Very sneaky play.
Yeah. Oh, nice job there. Getting the blink right after the Mercenary went down. So that's a 4-man right off the bat. That's great game by Arachna there.
Yes. And the Dream Witch is snowballing the game just making use of all the resources that she can get. Making use of all the advantages she has.
Yeah, like
she's able
just right from the start with that first sandwich on the seer, and from there on it, like you said, it just snowballed. It just kind of spiraled out of control for the survivors. The Dream Witch really put them in a situation where they just really couldn't do a lot because every other choice they would try to make would influence the game in a way that the mechanic either would be able to decode or they would just straight up have to sell someone, which made sure that they also wouldn't get enough cipher progress in because this is a Dream Witch who can just divert their attention. So great job by this Dream Witch. And a really good try from Fuzion too, because especially with the Mercenary, with those rescues they did, they really tried their very best, especially since they did manage to get the ciphers down to the last one, so they were close again, but it just wasn't enough, which is a shame. But you know, it's only the first round, anything can still happen, and we're definitely going to see more.
Let's see if the survivors from the hunter from their side can get another 4 kill, or even if not, at least get a 3-man or tie, just to make sure that the point difference isn't actually too great.
And I mean, you see it a lot in the first rounds, that the hunters manage to get the 4Ks in, and it comes down to the later rounds where the meta basically gets banned, where they are gonna rack up some more survivor points, and that's kind of where it matters. But yeah, we're gonna see if they're actually able to pull that off. Anyhow, we are going to be right back with the next match, so please bear with us for a minute. with the next round. So we just had Arachna get a 4-man elimination with Dream Witch against Fuzion. This puts a lot of pressure on the Fuzion Hunter, but from what we have seen last weekend, not necessarily something they cannot deal with. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen there.
See if they're also going to make pull a Dream Witch out for this map, or are they going to go country? Bans the Seer. It does look like it's looking like a Dream Witch ban so far. Looking at what. Oh, pulls out the Dream Witch immediately. See if they will lock it in. And knowing that they probably know, Arachna probably know that Fuzion's gonna pull Dream Witch. Let's see what team point they're gonna go. Definitely Mercenary Priestess on this map. And then whether if they have a forward player. And can see. Fruitinator pulls out the forward. Kasha's Mechanic. Mercenary and most likely Priestess. Wildling. A triple rescue mechanic team. Just trying to secure a tie to sustain their advantage from Fuzion. This team can again triple rescue. You have a strong height, sword decoding, but the strong height might make up for it. That because it's going to take a long time for them to actually get down. So even if the mechanic gets found first, the other 3 rescuers just has to lurk around, and they don't even have to rescue the mechanic.
Yeah, no, they're really setting themselves up for getting one person out of the gate. Wildling is a great character for that. The best one, I might say. Because he has that board, so he has the highest potential to like clutch a dungeon escape or anything.
Exactly.
Getting a win out of this, however, is gonna be really rough, considering if the mechanic gets found first. She would have to kite through the decoding debuff of all these rescuers, which is, with her kiting debuffs, not very likely.
Unlikely, but as long as she kites away from her bot and bots decoding outside, their hyper progress isn't really going to be that delayed, and spawns at the school gates. And usually the hunter will go straight for the middle, and middle is the mercenary. So where's the mechanic is at graveyard, which is amazing spawn in considering that it will take. Oh, reaches the mercenary immediately.
Getting an item out of the mercenary early game, not necessarily a bad thing.
The mechanic had already transitioned away from her bot, and realizing that the mechanic is... Nope, she did not realize the mechanic has went to Big Gate. And sees the wildling over here. But Dream Witch can't actually chase the wildling because just how you're supposed to get the hits from them, so... Well, with that spawn at the early game, Arachna is looking at a pretty good situation so far.
Oh yes, definitely. Comparing the time it took for Dream Witch here to find the first target as compared to the other one, that's a huge difference already. And it's just basically free decoding time for all the other spiders. So forward already at almost 60%, and the wildling also at 40%. So that's a great start. Mechanic only taking the first hit here. So it's like you said, if the mechanic just manages to kite away from her bot, she can get a lot of stuff done, even if she gets shared here.
It is quite middle of the map, but luckily no
Nice
one...
sandwich by the Dream Witch here.
Very good sandwich. And just looking at the ciphers, it does seem like she's going to chair her at corner house. So that means that it will give the mercenary a chance to work on the middle cipher.
Gets chaired at the Wildling cipher. Not ideal, but
The mercenary doesn't want to get hit over here, so he chose to delete rather than decode during this time. So it does seem like they're going to be left with 3 ciphers around middle. Over. A nice rescue.
nice job by the Wildling here. So
If
now
we
you
look
have
at
the
the
mechanic
cipher-
getting away from Wildling's old cipher.
Yes, and moving towards graveyard to disrupting decoding. The only thing is she might be dying near her bot. Not sure if the hunter will realize that, but it does seem like she's trying to make an effort at camping the cipher around middle.
This Dream Witch really
Nope, she
trying
doesn't
hard
realize
to.
that the bot's decoding there. So that means that the bot's going to be able to finish graveyard and move ciphers.
That's really important for the team here. Because with the corner house cipher almost done, the bot finishing the graveyard cipher, that means they're only down to 2.
And they already broke the triple ciphers around middle because forward's almost popping fake gate and middle's already halfway. So that means that the cipher spread for last 3 ciphers are not quite bad considering that they've already popped those ciphers that easier to count. With a larger cipher spread, it does look like the survivors are going to be having a fairly easier ending. Not
It gets it with the blink anyway. So this will mean that the mechanic is getting out of the game unless they are able to make a play here with the harassers. You can see the forward coming in there. They only have 1 more cipher to pop.
And that last cipher is at 670.
Oh, did he manage to
I
harass and
really feel
create
like there's 2 harassers here. They could have done something over there because Wildling can push one of the leeches away, and there's only 1 more leech that the forward has to try to harass.
Yeah, indeed. But maybe they decided not to take the risk there, knowing that as long as they get a few survivors out of the gate, they are in good shape.
Yes.
So maybe they just wanted to try and pressure, maybe get some more time out of the mechanic for the mercenary to decode.
That
blink was really unfortunate.
Yes,
Probably a mistake on turning the camera. That's unfortunate. But yeah, they probably just only went to pressure the Dream Witch, not really wanting to take the risk, even though they may have been able to make a play there.
I was just kind of suggesting that just because I see 2 harassers coming, especially with... It's just, they could have taken the opportunity to actually start on outside corner house cipher, like how Mercenary is doing. If they were there and if Mercenary already went to the corner house cipher, there could have been a win potential. So that's why I was suggesting that. It does look like they're doing a pretty secure play right now, with forward almost priming middle cipher.
Yeah, nice job by deciding to work on 2 ciphers at the same time rather than trying to just pressure one. Even though the Dream Witch was distracted, it's not really a risk you want to take.
And now Mercenary just has to remove his own leech over here.
There we go with the pop. Yeah, not a lot the Dream Witch could do there, sadly.
No. Luckily, the Mercenary hasn't removed his leech yet. And they are pushing survivors around each other.
Ooh, that was so close. Imagine if the Dream Witch was able to hit the forward there.
Very unlikely just because you already dashed away, but I do see your point because Greenwich does have a faster attack speed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
She sure went and tried for it, but it would have been great if that was the case. Now she's just trying to protect the gate. Wildling not really a target you wanna follow here. So that's unfortunate, and it seems like the other gate is being worked on by the forward.
She only needs 10 more seconds to actually get the gate open. If she doesn't actually count the cipher, not the cipher, the gate. Oh, it's probably almost primed.
It likely is. It has to be.
And if we notice one thing is that none of these survivors have been chaired before, so.
Yeah,
so
we
she
can
wouldn't
see
be
the
able to-
tension almost at a quarter left only, so in the case they would actually be able to survive long enough, which they are doing. They are just stalling the game right now. They may actually be able to pull off rescues if needed and get a 3-man out.
I don't think anyone's going to go down so far just because of how it's looking like.
Yeah, exactly.
The tension's over now.
And since the Dream Witch doesn't have Blink as well as Switch to teleport, her chase has gotten significantly weaker.
Yes.
So she's really in a rough spot here. The
boys
Wildling
back,
camping around the dungeon. They are really looking for a 3-man out here. Ooh, the gate's open! So we have the forward out.
Decipher? Not Decipher. I keep on saying Decipher.
And the Wildling going for the dungeon. So that's a 3-man escape. Wow. What a start for Arachna here.
Just
Really
dragging
great job.
out the last cipher and then as soon as they get the chance to. Just playing it slow and steady.
Yeah, really, yeah. The Dream Witch just had a really unfortunate early game there, finding her first target fairly late, so that did cost her a bit, especially around mid-game. And then the survivors being very patient around endgame, playing their cards right, and just getting the 3-man out of there. That's an amazing job. That was really clean.
It did look kind of clutch in the middle with the Wildling almost getting blinked hit over there, but with that team comp and Mercenary still, the Mercenary only has one elbow pad left, but knowing that Mercenary has delayed damage, we know that the end game's not going to be very easy, even if she chairs the Wildling over there. So considering that, the Dreamwish actually did get a pretty hard game in the end. Just looking at what the specs are, everyone got at least one cipher. Floor got 2 ciphers during that game, and Wildling did surprisingly get 139 seconds to the kite. Kept on harassing and then being forced around the map. And
this is gonna put a lot of pressure on Fuzion in the next rounds, because this actually has put Arachna in a huge lead. So I'm really curious to see how Fuzion is gonna deal with this, but we will be able to find out in just a few minutes. So please bear with us for a minute. We'll be right back at you. Alright, so we are back with the next matchup. So we will now have Arachna surviving over Arachna, surviving first, and the Fusion Hunter hunting the first round. The map seems to be Sacred Heart Hospital. How are we feeling about that?
A very survivor-sided map. I'm very curious about which side actually picked the map for this game. It is giving the pressure onto survivors in order to get larger number of survivors out. I'm so sorry. What was I saying? A bomb bang straight off the bat.
Oh.
Without hesitation. Study understanding very clearly. A mercenary ban and a seer ban.
So there is a lot of pressure on Fusion here, like I said before, because Arachna has a huge lead of a total of 7 points, so yeah, as a hunter you kinda just want the 4-man here.
It does look like he's going to even lock in as Wu-Chang because it makes sense for a Wu-Chang ban. Only except I think it's better if he actually banned forward and seer rather than mercenaries.
I mean, it kinda. I can see why as a mercenary or as a Wu-Chang you would ban the mercenary and the seer,
but then he cancels out the potential of getting a really long high early game, and then end game he has more of advantage of not. There's no of the delayed damage, so if he gets a hit.
Yeah, plus there's also, if the Wu-Chang decides to go for a double teleport strat, if there is a mercenary on the team, those elbow pads can be really a hard counter to that double teleport. But let's see if they actually lock in as... Oh, we actually get it in check.
Forward is definitely a hardcore Wu-Chang counter. Pieces on this map is absolutely amazing. Wildling and Gravekeeper isn't necessarily a Wu-Chang counter, but we know how disgusting Wildling can be if you try to chase one of them, because after you get the first hit, like a few seconds later, they'll get their board back. And then
yeah, indeed. And I mean, Wildling is a nice way, especially if Wu-Chang is in Blackguard form, to get some extra presence out of him. But
it's
for the same reasons, especially early game, Wu-Chang doesn't really have a lot to work with while chasing a survivor. So having to deal with like anyone on this team can be really bothersome for him. So he'll have to rely on that teleport a lot, probably. But we're actually gonna see a Wu-Chang.
If he actually uses teleport in this move, then he has to have a lot of cipher pressure at the beginning with using the double teleport. But if he wants to actually down someone, it's going to be pretty difficult because he actually doesn't have anything to work with, like you said.
Yeah, so this is looking like a rough game for Wu-Chang, and especially since, of course, it's Fusion hunting. There is a whole bunch of pressure, but I'm really excited to see this.
Oh, with this, could it be a peepers? Let's see. Nope, it's a double teleport. Oh wait, no, it's that's a blink. Sorry, I'm blind.
That's fair to get that early down. Let's find the Gravekeeper first, not taking any risks, throwing down the pallet, immediately using a shuffle.
You can actually chase the Gravekeeper because with one hit from the shovel, another hit on Gravekeeper himself, he actually gets the bell right immediately. So, oh, he also has Insolence. Looking at his build, Insolence and Retention. Please.
That's the first hit on the Gravekeeper there. You have the Insolence kicking in too.
Hmm.
And the Gravekeeper playing it really safe here, immediately popping that next shuffle.
Yes, but then he's not going to have anything to work with.
Ooh, gets
after.
hit out of that one. So now it's just a matter, especially since Wu Cheng has Blink. Oh no, he misses the Blink hit! Oh, it still gets the down though.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was close.
1.5 ciphers. After a chair is probably going to be 2 ciphers. 2.5 ciphers. Because one of them is going to help him for the save.
Yeah, we can see the Wildling coming in.
Wally will have to get on his board ahead of time, otherwise he's not actually going to make the rescue.
Yeah, but the boar is on cooldown, so there's not a lot you can do. Oh wait, I got mistaken on that one. My apologies. Let's get the Soul Siphon though.
I don't think he's going to have enough.
No, that Soul Siphon made sure that the Wildling could not get the rescue before half, so great job on the Wu Cheng there. So now the Wildling just waiting it out for a bit to get the rescue off. But since it's after half now, not great. Nice job dashing past.
Oh, he didn't actually get Soul Siphon over there. Which is
nice
good.
Job. However, yeah, there's not a lot Gravekeeper can do. Use both the shovels. There was not really a lot for him to work with.
Also go for a double kill on the Wildling at this point.
It does look like he is trying to get that. If he gets double down here though.
The game is looking pretty survivors. Hunter-sided at this point.
Yeah, however there are at 2 ciphers remaining. So
ciphers.
In the position Fuzion is in, Snide! Oh, the forward coming in with the stun.
Yes.
Did manage to drop in time, but the question is, will he actually be able to chair the Gravekeeper here? Because those chairs are not close by.
So he has a faster movement speed. Dropping him once doesn't actually mean that he can struggle off. Especially Gravekeeper
did not. The Wildling did use a self-pick, by the way. Imagine if the Gravekeeper was able to get free from that, especially around the hospital.
Pretty unlikely unless he has 3 struggle, but if we check the builds, he actually carries 3 great strings, which is pretty surprising considering that you do want to pallet loop the Wu Cheng, but you don't really want to go for the pallet stuns.
Yeah, and especially since it's Gravekeeper and the pallets actually are very, very valuable if you manage to put them down and get the shuffle under it, so...
Yeah, so like they're really in a point to carry.
So now we have the Priestess. Nice teleport on the Priestess there. Now we have everyone injured, by the way, too, so they are forced to heal up here. Which is really good for Wu Cheng, because it does save him a bit of time that he needed here, as they were 2 ciphers remaining.
Yes,
nice blink there. So we can see them healing up. Alright, there we have the forward being healed up.
Fortunately they have around 60-70 at T-walls, but they need another cipher.
Oh, and the Wu Cheng is teleporting right on top of them.
Teleport. For Soul Siphon over here, he's still going to make the save because the effects of Soul Siphon actually goes away by the time he makes it. Unfortunately, he's a broken Windows forward.
Yeah. But the fact he could get the teleport off, that was such a clean teleport. Now the Wildling's still not healed up. Forward back on the ground. Or I mean the Wildling has already been done once.
The Priestess.
But we can see that no one is decoding at this moment. Wow, that prediction by the Wu Chang. That's insane. They did get the rescue before half, but again, both are injured, so they cannot do anything.
Well, again, there's T-Walls that has a lot of progress on it, but they still need another cipher. And 4 doesn't have any more items left, that means that they are looking at... Oh... Does he not see the... No. He doesn't seem to real. Oh, now he probably does.
Yeah, eyes on the forward there.
So another trick from...
Slightly overshoots there, but it's T-wall corner, so it doesn't really matter that much. Especially since he has that soul siphon.
Doesn't have to clear the forward over here just because they actually need another cipher.
Yeah, and the forward uses self-pick anyway, so there is no way this forward is gonna get back up. What an amazing game from this Wu Chang.
Yes. Getting that first teleport right on the Gravekeeper to force him to use the shovel immediately, and using the blink to get the instant kill on him.
Oh, did he see the wobbling in the distance there?
Pardon?
I certainly did not. So Wu Chang is just taking his time trying to fight the wildling here. Probably knows that the forward already used his self-pick, or at least guesses so.
Oh. Could it be that he already sees the silhouette? Yep, he did see the silhouette.
Wow.
And very nice play from the Wu Chang.
You can see, however, that the dungeon was fairly close to the forward there. Imagine if he actually crawled towards the dungeon. If he knew that was there, of course.
No,
also, try to drop the wildling there, basically trying to bait the forward to use his self-pick if he didn't do so already. Going right to the dungeon spawn there.
There's really not many places he can hide, especially with White Guard still siphoning. He has time around the area pretty easily. And sees
no, he finds the forward there. Imagine if the forward actually managed to get the dungeon there. That would have been sick, but wow, what a game by this Wu Chang. That was insane. Those were some insane teleports.
You can see that the Wu Chang actually has very good...
Yeah, that's some great game sense on the Wu Chang's part. Especially under the pressure that he was on. Basically needing to get the 4-man here and just getting it off so cleanly with those teleports. With a Wu Chang, who is not really considered a great hunter for tournaments. That's insane. I don't know what else to say about this.
I really think that game sense plus skill from teleporting right onto the survivors, it really helped him with getting the game into the hunter side of momentum, which is very good from him. So luckily he did actually teleport onto Gravekeeper first time, because if he actually teleported onto Priest, there's a good chance he actually can portal into Hospital and loop him in there, which will actually take him.
No, he definitely got a bit lucky on finding the Gravekeeper first there. And Gravekeeper did do a really good job on the first part, but the fact that the Wu Chang managed to stuff the first rescue, or at least make sure it got after half, that already changed the game somewhat into his favor, and from there on just kind of snowballed.
It actually snowballed by the point that Gravekeeper went down in 30 seconds. it already fed the Hunter to second presence. Even though 3 ciphers were almost done, it still meant that they were going against a fully fed Wu Chang, so it's gonna be a hard game for them anyways, especially with Blink almost back up. The second
Oh yes, definitely. It's just really well played from Wucheng, and Arachna really tried to make the best moves possible, but yeah, especially the way this Wucheng played, very high pressure. Yeah, there's not really a lot they could do. It's just really nice job.
Yeah, it's a very nice play. Well, good job to both sides, and thank both teams for giving us this amazing game with Wu Chang.
Alright, and we'll be waiting for the next match now, so we'll be right back. so we are back for the second part of the second round between Arachna and Fuzion. So basically what needs to happen here is if Fuzion gets 3 men out of the game, they will win this round and they will be tied in points. So there's still a whole lot of pressure on the team, of course. Because getting a 3-man escape, especially in earlier rounds of any given tournament, it's really rough. But that's if they want to tie it point-wise. If they just want to get this match a win, they need to get one survivor out there. And in that case, they'd still go through the 3rd round, and that's where they would be able to maybe win some more points. So there's several options for them out there. It's not done if they do not manage to get 3 persons out there. They just need one. That at the very least.
Yeah. If Music Man locks in as Bully Queen, it does look like he's going for a tie, because Bully Queen is known as a tie hunter, and with this team, they're going to have a fast enough decoding to get the ciphers from even with a shorter second cut. A Joseph. I wonder if Music Man's just messing with MCs to see what we're going to comment on his choices.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I was gonna comment on, because I do know Music Man is an amazing Blood Queen, so I wouldn't be really surprised to maybe see Blood Queen coming in there. However, like you said, Blood Queen is typically a tie hunter.
Yeah.
So by choosing Blood Queen, it would mean they would be fine settling for a 3rd round. Maybe feeling confident that they might be able to turn things around.
I think they will have a 2nd round, except it's just that Arachna is so in lead in terms of the points. It's going to be a lot of pressure on them, even if they make it to 3rd round.
Yeah, exactly. So Music Man is kind of free to choose whatever you want. So Blood Queen, yes, tie hunter, but tie is enough for them in this as a hunter for Arachna. And especially since we do have the priestess ban, we do have the mercenary ban, so it does seem to be. Or no, they're still in the selecting phase, just a bit too quick to judge. We do have on the survivor side they're going with Anne.
You can't really hard Anne.
That last one switched to Anne. I definitely did not see that coming, but I am really excited for that. We have seen some great stuff from Ants earlier last weekend, I should say. So,
Anna's gaining a lot of popularity because of after her buff, because she's able to actually lock in their coding and items. So it does raises her chase potential and potential to camp the ciphers if she manages to actually get the chair around the ciphers that are being worked on.
Oh yes, definitely. So, especially in I think it started picking up in Asia with the tournaments and really became a more popular pick in like the 2nd rounds and such. So definitely gonna be excited to see what Music Man is gonna pull out here. So we have Sacred Heart as a map, not ideal for her, but
she actually might go a Trump detention Lincoln, honestly, with this team comp. Let's see what she's gonna carry in this game. Same spawns, and person that spawned Disrespect is forward. So you got the rescuers to spawn around Shack. Oh, it's a up-down teleport in.
So
the Explorer's not gonna be
first. It's not perfect, but especially with her buff. Ooh, the forward being able to use his football just in time to avoid that hit there.
It's a very nice cat over here.
Ooh, he got that fall just in time. And he dodges the hit! With the oh wow, great job by forward. Great job by forward. Did use a lot of his football there. And
But the thing
on the seer.
he has teleport, so it's gonna be hard to chase people in the hospital, especially when it's a seer. He has the ability to actually take 3 hits. Right here, just out. Nice with the cat because he knows that the seer is gonna be in distance. Oh?
So Lux the ult to make sure he gets the first hit on the seer.
But even then, he still has another pallet to work with after he drops down from here.
And I mean, in the end, this is hospital, so...
Yeah.
Ooh, gets the cat there again. Might try to lock again. Ooh, Seer using that before she actually manages to make the play there. Really smart move from the Seer.
I really think she only has 1 jump over there, so I don't think there was a point in doing that because he could have made it to the another pallet after she jumped. So even if she locks it, like, it should have been fine. What was this? Well, looking at the cipher progress, Explorer finishes 3 pallets with the page, and it looks like he's going to go into hospital to finish Seer cipher. Sending Gravekeeper in for first rescue. He's actually coming from far distance.
Gets spotted out early. That's not great.
She can send the cat over to get the.
Oh, manages. No, still gets it before half. Nice job by the Gravekeeper.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Seer has full snooze, which is very good choice of personas. And should really die away from the Explorer because the Explorer. She doesn't see the Explorer, luckily.
Oh, that's. No, the cat jumped on the Explorer. Oh no, and that revealed the Explorer's location. No, that's so unlucky for the Explorer. Poor Joggy.
They will need 1.5 ciphers.
Gets the stun there. No, it's short. It's still enough for the Seer to make the play. Takes the basically free hit on the forward there.
If he doesn't have any more football, he really shouldn't have been around here. Just because the Seer's not going to be able to transition away with that 1 hit. And it's unlikely for him to get another out too. So, we're going to finish that cipher, just up to the Gravekeeper finish it before she teleports.
Ooh, the Seer also went down relatively close to the forward, so would the N actually be able to find the forward there?
But it's alright because the cipher's almost finished. She's going to teleport you upstairs. It doesn't really matter over there. Yeah, uses his self-heal.
However, now everyone is injured, so as long as she manages to just protect the ciphers, it's gonna be rough, and they have to heal up.
They will have to heal up, and it looks like healing up at rooms was just a very good choice because it's so close enough for. Oh, Explorer's here for tonight's pressure. Just healing at rooms, so the Anne doesn't actually see them immediately after she leaves hospital.
Ooh, does not find Joggy there. Will she?
There's the gray spell. She might have.
She is looking, but
the blood tracks actually gives off the injured survivors a lot. I'm surprised that he actually didn't get found over there.
Mm-hmm.
Healed forward and Greyfear is healed up, and now he's working on another cipher. I really think this is a chance for Forward to actually get another item, just because the Explorer is not going to be found anytime
No,
soon.
indeed, and like the presence of the Explorer there actually forces the Ant to stay on this particular cipher because it is so close to being primed. So,
Yeah.
Explorer
So I
really
think-
out here carrying this this bit with his hiding skills.
Mhm. So as we can see, he's chasing after Forward now, and Forward doesn't actually have any items. So that will mean that for endgame, if she tunnels the Forward, she's going to get a relatively easier kill compared to the other.
But the question is, will she actually, because she is keeping look on that cipher over there, and the teleport is back up. Ooh, actually decides to just go for the pop there. Especially since the Gravekeeper still has a shovel, so he will be very unchaseable here.
The riders don't actually have to go to the gate right now, just because boat teleports straight to front gate. Probably will see the Forward, seeing him go into the hostel.
This is still very much a tight situation for the...
Oh, misses the command mark. If the Forward manages to do another loop around here, he should be able to go straight for the gate. Nope.
Decides not to do so.
It
We can
seems
see
like
that both gates are currently being worked on as the Ant is chasing the Forward.
I don't think
So
the
all she
Forward
needs
can-
really is to get the down there.
Nice. Nope, without a broken windows, he's not going to do it. I'm thinking whether if Forward would be able to just go out of the window. No, there's not enough time.
However,
Tie.
this, by the way, does mean that Fuzion won this round, making it so we are actually gonna see a third round for the first time in, I think it's 5 matchups. So, I mean, it does show that these two teams are like really close in skill levels. It's really cool to see, and I'm really excited to see what they are gonna bring out in the third round. Anyhow, great job by Music Man. Basically, just doing whatever was needed at this point.
Music Man actually had some great cats on the survivors. It's just the survivors pulled it together, and then they actually played it pretty safe around the end too, which is very good for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially considering since they only, as long as they got people out of that gate, the more the merrier, of course. But now they have another round to try and pull the game into their favor, which is it's perfectly possible. Anything can still happen. So the fact that they managed to get 2 people out of there means that they are only 2 points behind on Arachna. So it's not too big of a gap, and they definitely can manage to pull through with that. But the question is if they actually will, or if Arachna is gonna pull out a play to basically confirm the win. We will see in a bit. Please hang on for a few minutes, and we'll be right back. so we are back with the third matchup between Arachna and Fuzion. So, like I said earlier, there's only a 2-point difference between the two teams, so it's rough for Fuzion, but there's definitely some room for them to work with, especially as they get to ban 2 hunters now.
Banning all the meta characters in the third round, we get to see what they're able to come up with in facing up the situation. I'm pretty sure they will ban Dream Merchant Wu-Chang. Wu-Chang as the first hunter ban, and Anne.
That's a really interesting ban. This is not something you see a lot. I mean, I definitely understand the ban against Wu-Chang because Lakeside is a good map for him, and Tyrone already showed that you shouldn't mess with his Wu-Chang. So that's just totally fair. Also, and
it looks like he's going for a chip damage, those chip damage hunters with the mercenary ban and the mechanic ban. So he's in very seer. Let's see what he's actually going to go for. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see a point ban this simple. Sorry, I'm just not an.
Yeah.
And on Lakeside because it is a big map. So especially with the limited map control she has, as long as they don't die too fast in the first chase, they're going to have a decent amount of cypher progress. Oh, a double rescue priestess and seal. Okay, I think the. Okay, if they're going for the wilding, then I think it makes sense to ban the end then. Because
I mean,
harass.
What Arachna needs to do here is, if they get 2 people out of the game, they are basically safe. Because in that case, I don't think, if I calculated correctly, they don't really have an opportunity for a comeback on Fuzion side with the survivors. So what they need to aim for here is a tie at least, and it's up to the hunter to tie the other match, maybe get even more. But even if they,
as long as they're not like small bow or big bow, it's actually a pretty easy kill, especially like around shack or around beach.
Yeah, definitely. So as long as they indeed just not abuse those areas, if the hunter can maybe push them away.
If it's a teleport bomb, then all they have to do is dodge the bombs, and it's a slow spawn. So I think that kind of tells us. Okay, so Sears at shack and he's going towards middle, so he will be seeing the wilding and forward. Again,
the forward as the first, I mean the wildling. It's not ideal, then the forward. Especially since there's just football, you can just go into big boats, so it's also not really something you want to deal with here. But he is gonna try and push the forward away from big boat here.
Yes. Very sneaky with those longer bomb times. Just keep them away from the bombs.
Decides to teleport away. So now on to the seer, who is a check.
Yes.
That's a really good target for this bonbon here. That's who we wanted to find. Nice job by the bonbon getting that all out of the way with the bomb.
The thing about Seer against a bonbon is that it's pretty easy for him to actually bomb the owl off, and even with, as you can see over there, the Seer had to use the owl ahead of time just in case.
Ooh, gets the time bomb! Even though he took quite a bit to find his first target, he made up for it by how quickly he got the Seer downed. And now it comes down to camping, and we all know bonbon camping is
They're probably not going to make this rescue over here. And they're also...
Oh, no, it actually senses the wildling is gonna He's gonna make a play here. They do have the global setup.
That's a nice prediction on
The Wildling is not really able to do anything here because he took that one bomb hit already. Oh, he gets the time bomb before he could get on the board. Wow.
If the Wildling really wanted to get the save, he should have went on the board immediately.
Yeah, and now the forward trying to come in, but the Bonbon probably already spotted him. This Bonbon's doing amazing here.
Oh, he doesn't actually come for the save after that.
Oh no, he doesn't really get the football in. This is looking great for Fuzion here. The Wildling is down, the Seer is out of the game, the forward is just one bomb hit away, and the only one decoding is the Priestess.
Teleport back. So, if he teleports onto the Priestess,
yeah, that's exactly what he's gotta do here.
only if Wildling actually pushed him away. But if the Wildling pushed him away, he's gonna get instant kill right there.
Gets
Very
two
good
bomb hits on the Priestess there. Oh wow, Tyrone is doing amazing.
Oh, like I said before the match started, if it's a bonbon at beach, there's nowhere for them to actually kite, especially over here too. There's
absolutely nothing this Priestess can do here.
If she actually wants to kite, she has to kite towards small bowl, because it's hard to actually see around small bowl, so it's guaranteed a better kite.
We do have the weapon coming in with the rescue. We're getting pushed off a cipher. We're still at 4 ciphers remaining. This is really rough. Oh, Wildling getting stuck for the rescue again. Wow. Tyrone's camping is on point.
Yes. So all he has to do is just go straight for the forward. I'd say that if survivors want to get a tie for this round, they should have just had the Seer die at Shack because he already used teleport. And no one's decoding around Shack, so that means that...
When he gets the bomb it... Wow. And it's 4 ciphers remaining, so the dungeon didn't even spawn in.
No,
what a match by Tyrone! Oh.
He proves to us again that it's not just his Wu Chain that can actually play very violently, but it's also his Bonbon as well.
Yeah, no, they didn't get a single rescue off that game. That's insane.
The Bonbons camp.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, the Seer really tried to start, and like you said, had to start from the check cipher, which is not a great point to start your kite from, so there's only so much he could do, especially since it's a Bonbon against the Seer.
Yeah, I feel like ideally what they should have done was just to leave the cipher when teleport was up, so at least they have a head start to the kite. Even if he doesn't use this, Bonbon doesn't use the teleport, forward's not gonna die immediately at Big Bowl, and you have Wildling decoding outside too. And so it could have been a better game that way if the Seer wasn't at the cipher when teleport was up.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because the survivors actually were in a good spot in that early game, with the Wildling getting found, the forward being at Big Bow, dodging those bombs he put up, trying to trap the forward in, trying to push him away from that big boat. Forward did a really great job there, but that teleport onto the Seer, from there on, it just... Tyrone, man. Damn.
It was a very lucky spawn for survivors in the beginning, but with teleport, it doesn't really matter what spawns you have in the beginning, because if you teleport onto your survivors when the teleport is up, then it cancels out the time that you wasted in the beginning.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, they did win a bit there, but it just... Yeah, that was, I don't know what else to say about this. Tyrone just played that so well. So yeah, big props to him for that.
Yes. Well, it does look like even has made a comeback. It's the 4-man for this first game of the.
Yeah, so this does mean that
Um,
in case because like that's the issue here. In case Arachna gets the 4-man here, the rounds will be tied, which means Arachna will win. If Fuzion manages to get some survivors out of the game though, I think they need 2, but I may be wrong. Maybe it's...
I'm a bit confused. How many points does Fuzion gets?
Yeah, because Fuzion got 5 points for this round, so that means they are 13 to 10. So
13 to...
yeah.
Oh. I am so sorry. Me trying to calculate the points feel like
It's alright. It's alright. It's been a long evening. Don't worry about it. So basically means 13 to 10. So in the case Fuzion gets 1 person out of there, it means it will be 14 to 13, which means Fuzion will win. So they need 1 escape. So Arachna needs the 4-man here. If they get the 4-man, Arachna will win. If they let 1 person escape, just 1, it will go to Fuzion. So this is gonna be a really intense round.
It's gonna be pretty intense on Fuzion survivors. If they can actually go triple rescue in this game, just to ensure that they actually wouldn't have an early down. Survivors are gonna be slow, but it ensures that they wouldn't get a quick kill. So it slows down the chance of Hunter getting into second presence earlier on in the game. So without the Hunter being fed to second presence, it means that they have the chance of actually dealing with him in a later game, even if the first kite isn't as long for a triple rescue team to actually get the first done.
I'm just really curious to see what they are gonna bring out, because the issue here is you have 2 Hunter bands, and generally what you see in tournaments is that the first round usually ends in like a win for the Hunter, because they are able to play anything they want, because there's no Hunter bands. Then the second round they have 1 Hunter band. Usually people have like a solid second pick, like Bonbon or Sculptor or such, or Anne, who has been coming up too. But from there on, when you get to ban 2 Hunters, the game usually really shifts into Survivor favor. Of course, there's 3 Survivor bans, but you just have more survivors to pick from who are like somewhat more close in what they are able to do in abilities than a Hunter would be. So that's usually why you see the later rounds result in ties or Survivor wins, and they cannot afford to let that happen. Arachna cannot afford to let that happen. However, Tyrone got a 4-man, like such a clean 4-man in the last round that I cannot say anything about it, because Tyrone just proved it doesn't matter what round you're in, you can still 4-man as a Hunter. If he is able to do it, why wouldn't Arachna be able to do that? So, you know, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be really exciting to see who is gonna come out on top. Are the survivors gonna get 1 person out of there, or is the Hunter actually just gonna go win with a 4-man?
Wait, do they really need a 4-man, or are they fine with 3 kill? I am so
No, they
confused.
need a 4-man, because in the case they would get a 3-man elimination, Fuzion would get 1 point. They are now at 13. 13. Sorry, my English is not that great. But they are at 13 points right now, so if they get 1 person out of there, they get +1. So that put them at 14. If Arachna lets one person escape, they get 3 points, which means that the points would be 13 to 14 in favor of Fusion. So,
Wait, they didn't win the second round. First game, for the big points. First game it was Arachna win. Second game Fusion. If the third game Fusion.
yeah, so if Fusion, because the last match ended in a win for Fusion.
Yeah.
If I'm right, yeah. So then, if Fusion wins this round, it means they also win like round-wise, so not on point-wise. But in case this match would result in a 4-man 2, they would technically tie. And in that case, looking at the points, Fusion will be in favor over Arachna by 1 point.
So Arachna needs a 4-man.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was confused about whether or not my theory about Arachna going. Wait, no, sorry, not Fusion going triple rescue was right, because I was so confused about what the standings were.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope I'm not mistaken on the rules and calculations myself. I'm really sorry if I messed up on that, and please,
Sorry if I gave the
if
wrong
there's
information.
anyone watching that's like, what are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? That's not how it works. Please do feel free to correct me, because I'm not 100% sure.
What's going on? I mean, whenever I watch a tournament with my friends, they're usually the people that actually calculates the points. So I'm just sitting there like, so how many points do they need? And they tell me the number. So I kind of relied on my friends too much.
No, that's fair. I mean, usually I just watch and see what the result will be. But yeah, now having to calculate on the spot. I didn't change the scoreboard yet, so I do not have like something to look from, to like make sure that I actually am right about what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm fairly sure if Arachna gets the 4-man, they win, and if Fusion gets a 1-man escape, they will actually, yeah, Fusion will actually win.
So round 1 is for the future. If Arachna doesn't get a 4-man, they win 2 major rounds. I'm looking at the chat right now, and I think that's what's going on. I'm so confused.
Yeah, no, basically round-wise what happened is it's 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
Maybe I should put that on the little scoreboard in the corner too. I will try to do that tomorrow. I will add that tomorrow, because that actually may actually be a good idea, just to make sure that like everything is clear, because sometimes points can be tied, but rounds can differ. Or something like that. Just to clarify, because it essentially it's a best out of 3. It's just that in this case, the result may depend on the points, because of how this can turn out and how close the points are. So that's why it matters in this case.
That's true. They actually made quite a nice comeback at that point.
Yeah, no, Fusion's comeback, because like in the first round I think they were behind with like 4 points. I'm not too sure, but I think maybe even more. I'm not too sure, because they got a 4-man, and then, or Arachna got a 4-man and then a 3-person elimination, so that put them at 8 points. Whereas yeah, Fusion only got 1, so it's 7 points indeed. So that's, yeah, that was really rough, but Fusion turned it around. They actually managed to pull through. They got that second round. They got what they needed, and then they pulled through with a 4-man elimination on the Hunter side. So you know, that's
For the
That's
comeback.
absolutely insane. If you, that you can manage to pull a comeback like that in a tournament setting like this, because and I don't think I said that today, but I do want to point out to anyone who is watching right now to please be respectful towards the teams playing. This is a tournament setting which is way more stressful than rank or whatsoever. So yes, people fess up sometimes. The mistakes are being made on either sides, but I do want everyone to realize there's a lot of pressure on the people playing right now, and to just be respectful that in the end, this is done mainly for fun. So I just hope that all of you can just put yourself to being nice towards everyone trying to make the best out of this, to just have a good time, basically, because that's why we're here. We're not here to prove a point. We're just here to have a good time, essentially. So I hope you can respect that.
They're both very good teams, even if they messed up. It doesn't mean that they're bad teams. It doesn't really suggest that. They both play very well. Both teams held it together. They're doing their best in the games, and that's what all we want. So, congratulations to both the teams for doing their best in the games, and good luck to them in the last round. Just see what might happen, and I do very look forward to how both teams are going to play in the last round, because it is a lot of pressure on both teams.
Also, our apologies for this taking a bit. Just fixing some stuff in the back. We will be there shortly. Normally we'd have the intermission going on, but we got kind of carried away talking, so I'm sorry for that. But we're gonna start shortly, so please hang in there for another minute or so, and we'll be right back with the match. I'm not gonna start the intermission though, because we can actually we're actually gonna start right now. Alright, I take back what I said. We're gonna start now.
Considering that Late Fight isn't really a survivor-sided map, anything can happen on this game, depending on how fast they get the kills. Like in the last game, we can see that the hunter didn't get a good spawn because he spawned beside the rescuers route. So, but he managed to make a teleport onto the seer, instant kills him, and tears him onto his wildling cipher, which shows that the game doesn't become survivor or hunter sided immediately in the beginning. So we have to wait and see about how both sides, both the players from both teams will play in the game. And so for the Game Merchant Sculptor Band, they are trying to force Instinct to use Bonbon or... does Instinct happen to use Axel, I wonder? Coordinator...
I wonder...
Banning the Mechanic and Seer and Mercenary. You wouldn't happen to ban Seer if you go Bonbon, but then you can ban Seer if you go Axeboy. Wondering if you might go Axeboy or Viola in this game. But as we know, Axeboy is kind of luck based, and if the trees don't spawn in the ideal area in your chase, it does seem like an Axeboy game. I don't know if he will lock in as Axeboy. If he happens to get a tree spawn, that means that the survivors wouldn't have a harder kite. But if the tree spawns aren't ideal, it will mean that he has to plant the trees himself, and it depends on whoever he's chasing. They might be able to transition away from the trees. We just have to see about what they go. Explorer does counter Axeloid. As long as he doesn't have this purple fireball, he's going to be able to actually get the cipher done pretty quickly if he hides in the early game. And coordinator is a pretty easy chase. So for us, I think for Priestess, she doesn't actually have as much of an advantage on this map.
Yeah, it's gonna be really rough looking at the Survivor team. I mean, because it's an ace boy and they do stand a chance. It's not like they don't, but they are not gonna get this for free. And especially considering they only need one person out of there, usually what you see a lot is that they will go like rather rescue heavy team comps. I'm somewhat surprised not to see Wildling in this comp for example. But on the other hand, you know, Priestess really strong on Lakeside. Explorer is also a fairly strong character. Does kind of get countered by X-Boy because of the Purple Flame giving away his location. So it's not ideal. But I can see it, you know. So I actually did not dare to make any predictions solely based on the current entrance Survivor picks.
I think what they would do is probably just have the 4 carry tie because they only need one person out. So Priestess, Coordinator, and Explorer can all carry broken windows to ensure that they don't have a very short cut in the beginning. And knowing that they only need one person out, they can just keep Tinnitus for they keep the 100 stay there for Tinnitus and have the 100 chair. And during that time they can Cypher Rush the Hunter. With this King Kong, because they don't have a Wily on the team, they actually have a pretty fast decoding. So Werner has decoding, Explorer has pages, just up to who's doing the first kite and how long they're doing it for. So let's see about that.
Hold on a second. Oh no, my game is back. It crashed for a second, but we're good. We're good.
Jack spawn going towards middle. Between middle is actually Priestess. Oh, it's going towards big boat. And because the big boat survivor is coordinator and she broke. Oh, she's not actually coming mid.
I mean, having your first chase being at Big Bow is not the best situation, especially since she does have a gun.
Yeah, you can dodge the fireball by going onto the stairs.
You missed the fireball there. Oh no! I think that was an accident? Or that she...
No, I don't think
Or she figured that he would use the speed boost to get the hit, but that's really unfortunate for the coordinator.
I think he should try to predict, perhaps?
Ooh, barely misses the flame there.
As you can see, the tree spawned. Even though he planted the tree over here, there's another tree that spawned here. So the 4 doesn't actually go out of the tree range.
For using a lot of his football, which is fair because all they need to do here, considering this is an X-boy, is just make sure the first kite is long enough. If they can just manage the first kite to be long enough for several ciphers to pop, they are fine. We can see Explorer with the... Ooh, nice down on the forward there. But yeah, we have Coordinator 60, Explorer with a 50% page, and the Priestess also halfway with her cipher, so there is some progress going on. But I'm fairly sure they will not rescue this.
They got a relatively quick kill, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to have to camp the chair. The Tinnitus from the core is going to push him to be around the chair. And I don't think any of the survivors has. Yep, none of the survivors has died except for the forward.
Yeah, plus the forward also doesn't have any football left anymore, so like even if they would attempt to do a rescue, there's nothing the forward can do. You cannot get away from this chair, especially considering the build he has.
Mm-hmm.
So we do see the forward flying off.
Mm-hmm.
2 ciphers remaining though. So what
This is
likely is
nice.
gonna happen, whoever gets chased next, they either fight long enough for the cipher to be primed, or they basically get shared and the same will happen.
Yeah.
Because there's
Do we get-
nothing the exploit can do if they decide not to do the rescues.
And Einstein doesn't actually have any trees at this point. He didn't actually take the chance.
Yeah, indeed. That's a huge issue in this boy here.
So currently he's looking at
Does have to chase the priest here, it's still 2 portals left, so considering this is a small boat, it's not great.
one more cipher. Oh, he's just camping first.
Ooh, did he spot the explorer there? No, he's going after the coordinator.
The explorer, because of the traits of the explorer, his blood tracks actually goes away quicker.
Oh, gets the flame hit and the down! Nice! Nice job. Yeah, he has to share the coordinator, let's say, for now. Because...
He's working on the cipher because of 2 pages, and he has to... It's very unlikely for him to get a format at this point, just because the last cipher is online, and it's going to be... He has to be able to stop the explorer, otherwise...
Yeah,
You're gonna...
but even so, because it is primed, so Explorer... And there...
He's
oh,
still
there we go.
this day, but... Fireballs aren't in a very ideal position.
Fireball. Nice dodge by Joggy. That's basically the rescue confirmed. With the cipher being primed, unless he gets the terror shock here, if he gets that off, then yeah, there we go with the pop.
And then all the survivors have to do at this point is just go towards 2 gates. And as we can see, the priest is going towards front gate while the explorer is going towards back gate.
Yeah.
So that kind of just...
Oh, messes his screen.
He's definitely not going to get the format at this point.
No, this is
It does look like a tie, because the coordinator is actually cutting for a pretty long time.
yeah, it's really sad to see that there was absolutely nothing the expert could do, even though he got a really nice early down on the forward. It's just the cipher rush being too strong, and they get 2 people out of there. So this means that Fuzion will win this round, and with that,
And
they will win over Arachna. That's, well, after that start, like the first round, them pulling through in this way, that's absolutely insane. What a game.
What a comeback.
Yeah, no, that's massive respect for Fuzion here, for turning this around the way they did. Also, of course, Arachna played absolutely beautifully. Yeah, especially on the last game, with it being an exploit. It's just... That's the unfortunate thing with hunters that lack stuff like map pressure. In the case that they decide to just sell a survivor, they can still very well go for tie. And since they only needed 1 person out of there, Uh, Fusion just played it really safe, which is all they needed in this situation to win. So you know, it's just job well done from Fusion here. And Arachna still played amazingly well. So yeah, great stuff. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for coming in, and I hope to see you tomorrow for some more games because tomorrow we will have some more new teams and matches coming up. So be sure to not miss out on that. Bye bye, everyone.